Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome to another episode of Chats with Orly, and today we'll be having a little chat on the Grammys. And in case you're wondering, yes, I'm filming in my restroom because it is the only room in the whole apartment that has good lighting. This place just has terrible lighting. But anyway, so I've heard it all over my social media and people are mad. People are really mad about the Grammys because they feel some people got snubbed and that some people should have gotten awards and some not. And so today you'll be hearing my input on it. So the categories that we're going to be discussing today are going to be Album of the Year, Best Pop Solo Performance, and Best Pop Vocal Album. And not only will you guys hear my commentary, but you'll also hear a couple of stats, real stats, and why I believe that some people should have gotten Grammys and some not. So, alright, so let's get to chatting. One question that I have always had is, like, who decides the Grammys? Like, how are the Grammys decided? And so, according to the website, it says, let me check my glasses. It says, the Academy's voting members, all involved in the creative and technical processes of recording, then participate in one, the nominating process that determines the 5 finalists in each category, and 2, the final voting process which determines the Grammy winners. So there we have it. Straight from the Grammy website itself. And by the way, I think that being able to judge and range, where these albums stand through Metacritic is, I personally think it's really good. So for those of you wondering what Metacritic is and why I'm using it to, talk about the artists and their albums, well, I'm gonna read you what it says on the website. So, Metacritic is a website that aggregates reviews of media products, music albums, video games, films, TV shows, and formerly books. For each product, the score from each review are averaged. Metacritic scoring converts each review into a percentage, either mathematically from the mark given or which the site decides subjectively from a qualitative review. Before being averaged, the scores are weighted according to the critic's fame, stature, and volume of reviews. So first category, Album of the Year. So our nominees are Childish Gambino for Awaken My Love, and his album has a Metacritic score of 77. And what are my thoughts on the album? So I found it to be not only a big comeback for him because we hadn't heard from him in a long time, but he gave us a different sound, kind of like funk, psychedelic soul, and obviously it featured his amazing rapping and his really good singing. So there's that, and then we have Jay-Z's 444. Anyway, Jay-Z's 444 had a Metacritic score of 82. And for me, his album was sort of like his own lemonade, and I know that in his album he talks a lot about his marital problems and he tries to be very vulnerable, which I always really like in an artist, and I think that was that album for him. And then he talked about his infidelity to Beyonce, which was such a big deal because Beyonce alluded to it in Lemonade, and now we sort of have an answer because we can put 2 and 2 together. And then we have Kendrick Lamar's Damn, that was a good album. So, on Metacritic, he has a score of 95. And one cool thing about this album is that it can be played backwards, and I think he's releasing a version, or he already released a version of the album that is backwards, so I thought that was really cool. His single Humble was #1 on the US Billboard Hot 100, and I know that Damn went double platinum. A lot of critics say that it was a very versatile album and that it includes some of his best rapping to date, and I think that's awesome. And then we have Lord's Melodrama, which is sort of like a personal favorite for me. So Lord's album has a Metacritic score of 91, and the album is basically, about growing up, and it addresses the issues of solitude, heartbreak, it addresses a breakup, and I really liked it. I think that's something that Lorde does that a lot of artists are afraid of doing, is that she's not afraid of sounding raw, and she takes vocal risks, and I really admire that. She's not the type of person, the type of performer, the type of singer that is trying to sound pretty all the time, and I really like that. I really like that about her. And then we have Bruno Mars's 24K Magic. So Bruno Mars's 24K Magic had a Metacritic score of 77, and in my opinion, it sounded very similar to his previous album, Unorthodox Jukebox, and it was very sort of similar. You get the soul punk sound, and I think that Bruno Mars is an amazing vocalist, just like I think he just is so great. He's really, really good. But the album was not the best, and the Metacritic scores prove it. So I'm left wondering, yeah, I mean, why did he win Album of the Year? I'm shocked because, I mean, Lorde and Kendrick had the highest ratings. Lorde had a 91 Metacritic score, and Kendrick had the highest with a 95. So why did 24K Magic win? I think it probably has to do with that new song that he has with Cardi, and I mean, it's a good song, but you know, it's not. Is the whole album Grammy worthy? No, not by a long shot. So then we have the best pop solo performance. And we start with Lady Gaga with Million Reasons, and Joanne's Metacritic score, the whole album score, was a 67. And what I liked about Million Reasons and what I liked about Joanne is that we're talking about the same woman that gave us the fame monster, art pop, Born This Way. So when I heard Joanne, I kind of wasn't too fond of it because I don't like country, and I still don't like country. But if I had to like country, it would be Gaga's country. So, yeah, and I think that this is a genre that she hadn't explored yet, and as an artist, I think that that's really brave of her, and I think she did an amazing job. And Million Reasons is just a really good song, and not only that, but she gives us mad vocals. I mean, honestly, Gaga's never disappointing with her vocals, and she can give us jazz vocals, she can give us pop vocals, you know, like she's just really, really good. And I'm biased in that. So then we have Kesha's Praying, and the Metacritic score for her whole album was an 81. And what I like about Praying, I like the meaning behind it. I think everybody knows, and if you don't know, basically Kesha was in a very long court battle with her producer, Dr. Luke. She had accused him of verbal, physical, emotional, sexual abuse for a long time. It was, you know, this happened over a course of many years, and because of this legal battle, she unfortunately could not release any music, and so we hadn't heard about Kesha for a long time. And so Praying is the song of her coming back stronger than ever. It's very motivational, it's inspiring, and once you know her personal struggle, I think that gives the song such an amazing, you know, resonant, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm very proud of Kesha for coming back with Praying. And also, as a solo performance, Kesha gave us an amazingly beautiful high note at the end. She's like, you get me. So I think as a performance, she did amazingly well. Okay, so then we have What About Us by Pink. It was the #1 dance club song on Billboard 100, and it had her whole album had a Metacritic score of 62. And what I like about this song is that the song starts off as sort of a ballad, so you know, you think you're about to get real emotional, and you're like, oh my god, and then it turns into a dance club, and so you're like, what about us, hey, hey, what about all the things we're having together? So I like that, you know, because she surprises us. And then we have Kelly Clarkson, Love So Soft. And first of all, again, the category is called Best Pop Solo Performance, right? And Kelly Clarkson is an American Idol, not just contestant, she's an American Idol winner, right? So I think that says a lot about her vocal prowess and her as an artist. And I really liked it. You know, she was that girl with the vocals, you know, she did an amazing job. And her Metacritic score for Love So Soft, I mean for her whole album, her Metacritic score was a 72. So then we have Shape of You by Ed Sheeran. What can I say? So the Metacritic score for Ed Sheeran's Divide album was a 62. And honestly, I don't know. I don't think Ed Sheeran is a great performer. I mean, this is just my bias, but the thing for me here, and the thing I take issue with, is that clearly, I'm sorry, but clearly all these other female artists are much better vocally and better at performing. Like, I'm sorry, like you know, what does Ed Sheeran do? Like, be on his little guitar and like, you know, like sing ballads, you know? Come on. How did Shape of You win? How did it win? when you have all these powerful female artists with, Gaga, exploring another genre. You have Kesha with her powerful backstory and giving us beautiful sounds with her voice. We have What About Us, Pink is giving us amazing dance club vibes as well as, emotions. And then we have Kelly Clarkson, who is also just an amazing vocalist all around, who has been performing for quite a long time. So, and if you, even just looking at the Metacritic scores, we have Lady Gaga and Kesha and Kelly Clarkson, who all had higher Metacritic scores on their albums than Ed Sheeran. So, where do we go from here? Obviously, all the women in this category were cheated, and there's nothing that anybody can tell me about that. I'm sorry. If y'all want to comment in the bottom and say I'm wrong and whatever shit, go ahead, but that's my opinion on that. So now we have the last category, Best Pop Vocal Album. So we have Kaleidoscope by Coldplay with a Metacritic score of 63. We have Imagine Dragons' Evolve album with a Metacritic score of 47. Then we have Lana Del Rey's Lust for Life with a Metacritic score of 78. Kesha's Rainbow for a Metacritic score of 81. Gaga's Joanne with a Metacritic score of 67. And then we have Ed Sheeran's Divide with a Metacritic score of 62. And for those of you guys that don't know who won this category, take a guess. Yeah, it wasn't anyone before Ed Sheeran. So Ed Sheeran got the Grammy for this yet again. I do not understand. I am mad. Because look, we're talking about vocals here, right? We're talking about vocals here. Lana is a really good vocalist, mind you, she's not the best one, But then you have Kesha, and you have Gaga, who gave us amazing vocals, and who continue to give us amazing vocals time and time again. And, I honestly don't know a lot about Imagine Dragons' album or Coldplay's album. I don't know enough about them. I just know that the lead singer of Imagine Dragons is really, really good. He's a great singer. From the previous albums. And then you have Coldplay, they have really good music too, so. But my point here is if you look at this, I wrote these down, like this is from online. This is from online. I mean, excuse my shitty handwriting, but this is from online. I got this from the internet. So, I don't understand. If you just look at the stats, Ed Sheeran's Divide has the lowest Metacritic score, So what does that tell us? I just fail to understand. I don't know. Again, and I think that a lot of people were cheated on this one, and especially the women. Lana, Kesha, and Gaga both had higher Metacritic scores than Coldplay, Imagine Dragons, and Ed Sheeran. And this is just the stats. That's what's on the internet, So why didn't they get an award? The women in this category were clearly better than all the men in this category, and yet they gave it to Ed Sheeran. I'm sorry, I can't stand Ed Sheeran, and Shape of You was not that song, it wasn't that song. Million Reasons was that song, Lust for Life by Lana Del Rey was that album, and Kesha's Rainbow was also that album. I'm sorry, Ed Sheeran, you don't give us anything new, and especially for the category Best Pop Vocal Album. Ed Sheeran wasn't serving vocals. He wasn't doing it. He's not that person. He's not that guy, Ed Sheeran's sort of like that college kid with his guitar that likes to croon and swoon all the girls, even though he's not that good looking and shit. Honestly, I'm pretty ugly too, and that shit never works for me, so. Anyway, we also have an honorable mention. So, somehow, SZA was nominated for 6 categories, and she did not get an award for any single one of them. SZA's Control was just an amazing album, and it was the Ho anthem for everybody, SZA wrote in such a way that I was like, wow, my man is your man, come on, that is the ultimate Ho anthem, out of all the songs, it's damn girl, I relate to that, I feel you, her man is her man, her man. But really, honorable mention to SZA. She got cheated, she got snubbed, there is nothing you guys can tell me about it. Ed Sheeran did not deserve the awards he got, and 24K Magic was not that album. I'm sorry, and that's just the way it is. So So there you have it. That was the Grammys review with Chats with Orly. Let me know in the comment section what you thought about the video. Let me know if you think that these artists that got the Grammys deserve them. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you guys later. Stay tuned for the next Chats with Orly video.